Welcome, everyone. My name is Michael Doherty, along with Mihal Parkoa, and we are hosting this keynote session with our speaker, Jason Little. In this keynote session, we'll learn about onboarding your AI employees. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jason Little is a Canadian author, speaker, and creator of Lean Change Management, with updated books and global workshops on AI, change, and experimentation via leanchange.org. He helps organize or in organizations modernize change through practical, feedback-driven approaches and AI integration. Being Canadian, he probably apologized while disrupting your entire transformation model. So in this keynote session, we'll learn about enabling your AI workforce. There's also other sessions in the Global Agile Summit 2026 that touch on this topic, such as Goiko Adzik, who talks about how AI democratizes access to things that only big companies could afford to do previously, like hosting websites and doing usability evaluations and so on. But now it's time for us to focus on our guest speaker and keynote speaker here and our topic for this session. Jason, go ahead.
All right. I've been using AI for, I guess, a number of years, and I like that you mentioned Goiko's session around making things accessible for people who wouldn't have been able to, companies that wouldn't have been able to afford that stuff. No and low code has been doing this for 10 years in automation, and now it's all of the stuff that, no code is not named really well. It's more like no syntax. So it was still out of the reach of business people to do stuff, but now with AI, it's not anymore. So with tools and things people can build. And I think it's a great opportunity for my world is the world of change. So we talk about the full stack change agent. So, we learned this in the early 2000s with full stack developers, right? You could no longer just be the Java person. You had to become bridge shaped, as the Agile community called it. And the same shift is happening in change. So, I wanted to go through some of the things that the change agents and change teams I've worked with have found useful in the AI space because it kind of demystifies all the hype and all of the existential dread that seems to float to the top of everybody's social feeds.
Okay, so just to let you know, Jason, you've influenced a lot of people. One of them that I know personally is a gentleman from Copenhagen, Per Benning, who's teaching a class called From Confused to Confident about how to use AI. And he said his muse or inspiration was you. And so one of the things that going on that whole idea how making technology more accessible is that what things have you seen that really have AI changed with the whole way we do our work?
So if I'm sticking with the change context, it is, there's some things that we do as change people that maybe sometimes don't make a lot of sense. So if we're doing, a liftoff for a large change program, we'll do a change readiness assessment, right? Pretty standard. Are people ready for the change? What do they think about it, etc. But in the old world, we dumb down those things because we want ratings questions. So we want, we're going to migrate widget X to widget Y in 3 months from now, and do you strongly agree we should do this? Agree, whatever. We put those rating scales in because they make nice charts and they look nice in meetings. And we don't have to do that anymore. Now, you could throw 50,000 survey results at any language model and it won't even blink. Just within a snap of a finger, it's going to give you a pretty good readiness report. And I do have to remind people that you know, when Google first came out, people were like, uh-oh, I have a presentation on Friday. I'm going to Google it and pick the first result and not think. Well, that happened in the Google world. That's happening in the AI world too. Don't take the first response. You have to check the sources, depending on what the context is and what the stakes are. But simple things like that, I might spend a day or two with my team going through 1,000 responses to try to find insights. You can do that instantly now.
And once you have a change readiness report like that, what happens then?
The well, the joke I like to make